what's up, guys? Welcome back to Napoli Central. My name is Giovanni, the host of this channel. As always, I just want to start out by saying quickly, thank you guys so much for 300 subscribers. We're already at 310, so since the last video a week ago, all the interaction on Twitter, you guys have been amazing. So we'll set 400 subscribers as our next goal, and we'll get there whenever. So if you're a Napoli fan, if you're not, you just want to keep track of the team, this is a Napoli channel, but please do subscribe and like this video. So, it's been a week since my last video when I made the video about the kit, the first home kit that was revealed. And now we have the Serie A schedule. I watched the stream on Periscope, actually, from Sky for the last, hour and a half. So, we know what the schedule looks like, and we're just going to take a quick look at it. So, on the screen now, I'll put the whole league schedule. We'll go through this quickly, and then I'll look at Napoli's schedule and Juve's schedule, since those are our main rivals. That's who we want to beat for the Scudetto. But let's go right into it. The first week, we see that Napoli has Lazio away. So that's probably the biggest match of the day, because Chievo is playing Juventus. So they're at Chievo. They're in Verona, but that could be Ronaldo's first match in the Serie A if he does play. So that's big in that sense, but Juve is obviously heavily favored, and people will say Napoli's favored as well against Lazio. I understand that, but I'm just saying I think those are more I think that game's more balanced than a Chievo-Juve game. But there is also Torino-Roma. That can be an interesting game, but Roma should have the better quality there. Parma-Udinese in their first game back in the Serie A. Parma will be at home, so that's good for them as well. Fiorentina is a decent match to see, so that's the first week. Second match day, Napoli's really tough schedule really goes into full effect. Again, we have Milan, and Milan hasn't been the best the past couple seasons, and they're trying to get back to where they used to be, but it'll still be a hard game. That one will luckily be at the San Paolo to start off. Juve will have Lazio, so Lazio has Napoli at home, then Juve away in Torino at J Stadium, or Allianz Arena, whatever you're going to call it. So that's very tough on their part. Let's see who else the big guys have. Inter-Torino is another match. So Torino has Roma and Inter to go back-to-back. Roma-Atalanta. And then we have SPAL-Parma, which is another game for, the two clubs. I think it's called the Emiliani, the team. So that's a good battle for them as well. Third match day, we have, where's Napoli? Samp-Napoli. So we're away at Samp, which is another tough game. So Lazio, Milan, and Samp to start back-to-back for Napoli. So that's crazy right there in itself. Bologna, Inter, something to point out there. Parma, Juventus. Parma's at home for that one. And what else is a big game there? Let's see. I think those are the biggest games there. Inter has Bologna, like I said before. And Milan-Roma is a big game as well. So that's the third match day. Fourth match day, Juve-Sassuolo. Juve is going to probably kill them. Napoli-Fiorentina to point out Napoli's match. Again, those are the four in a row that are pretty tough for Napoli. Roma, Chievo, and Cagliari, Milan, Inter, Parma. So, fifth match day, Napoli has Torino, away in Torino. So, that's definitely tough as well. Milan, Atalanta, Sampdoria, Inter to look out for. Frosinone, Juve, and who does Roma play? Bologna, Roma. Sixth match day, we have Napoli-Parma, which is kind of the first break, if you even want to say that, because Parma come back to Serie A will probably be playing out of their minds, really tough. They're already starting with a -5 deficit because of the whole match fixing, not match fixing, but with Calcio saying what he said to the players on that last match day to, trying to elicit them to not play as well and all that jazz. It's going to turn out that they're going to have to come back from a -5-point deficit. So they're going to be playing as hard at the San Paolo, but that's our first, I guess, lower team that we're playing. Juve Bologna on that week as well. Udinese Lazio. Who else do we have? Empoli Milan, Inter Fiorentina, and Roma Frosinone. That's the sixth day. Seventh match day, we have the first encounter with Juventus. It is in Torino. So that's good on our part, because then on March 3rd of next year, we'll have them at home. So I kind of like this structure where we've kind of faced them earlier on in the season. I'd rather do that just because we're more fresher. We don't know what we'll look like at the end of the season. And hopefully by that day, we'd have guys like Gulam back, Meret back, and we'll see what the attack is looking like. But for now, it's Milik up there in front if he's healthy. So that's the first big match of the rivals, So then we have Roma Lazio that day as well, Sassuolo Milan, and who does Inter play? Inter Cagliari on the 7th match day. That's on the 30th of September, so be on the lookout for that. 8th match day, we have Napoli has Sassuolo at home. 9th match day, Napoli has Udinese Napoli, so they're in Udine. Juventus has Genoa, Roma, SPAL, and Inter Milan. The Milan Derby is on the 9th match day. 10th match day, I'm going to start running it through it quicker just so I don't waste time because I want to get to Napoli's schedule and what I think about it. So I'm going to just read off Napoli's games from now on, and if I see a big game that stands out, I'll mention it as well. 10th match day, we have Roma. So in the first 10 match days, we have Juve, we have Roma, we have Lazio, we have Milan, we have Fiorentina, we have Sampdoria. So in the first 10 weeks, we have a crazy, crazy schedule. Very tough. What a way to test Ancelotti in his first year back in a while in the Serie A. So it's going to be crazy at the least, to say the least. 11th match day, Napoli-Empoli. 12th match day, who else is Juve playing that week? It's Juve, Cagliari. Let's see. 12th match day is Genoa-Napoli. I think, yeah, so that's the Gemelli team. That's kind of a brother team. 13th match day is Napoli-Chievo. 14th match day is Atalanta-Napoli. That will be another test as well because Atalanta's always tough away from home, for us at least, when we go to Atalanta and play them. Napoli-Frosinone in match day 15. Match day 16 is Cagliari-Napoli. 17th match day is Napoli-Spal. Second to last match day in the Andata is Inter-Napoli. So that means that on May 19th, on the Ritorno, coming back, we'll play them at home, which is good because that's a big opponent. Kind of towards the end of the season, we'll play them at home. And I'll get to that as well because we kind of seem to play a lot of these teams or a good amount of them away, so we'll be home on the comeback, on the return, which is decent. And then our last match day on the 19th match day is Napoli-Bologna, which means we'll be away from home to start the season and to finish the season in May 26th of 2019. So I'll put the Napoli schedule now on the screen for you guys. And what I just really want to reflect on real quick, because we're already deep into this video, is just the fact that Napoli is facing Lazio, Milan, Sampdoria, Fiorentina, Juve, and Roma, like I said, in the first 10 matches. So we're really top heavy. While if you look at Juve's schedule, which I'll put on the screen now, they're more bottom heavy. So when they get to let's just make the cutoff at Milan, Juve. They have Milan, Fiorentina, Inter, Roma, and Sampdoria and Atalanta, who usually can test them in the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. So they have a lot of the top guys in the bottom, while Napoli has a lot of them in the top. Because as you can see, as I said before, in the first 10 weeks, we faced, I think, 5 or 6 top clubs in the Serie A. So it's going to be difficult, but I think, in my opinion, I'd rather have the stronger opponents first because fresher legs, Ancelotti's going to want to come in and prove himself. The team's also trying to redeem themselves for last year, coming up just short. So I think, in a way, it's good for us to win these games or try to get the best results in the beginning of the season because at the end, Juve will have a more, I guess, difficult schedule down the stretch for them to come through. And then in the middle of the season, once we get these first 10 weeks out of the way, which are really tough, we'll see the easier opponents. Like I said, I don't like saying easier opponents because if you watch Serie A, you know that none of these teams are easy to play. And it just like they're not all bottom feeder clubs just the way everyone makes it out to be. So it's going to be more difficult than it seems. So, but obviously they're lighter than our first 10 weeks where we have, I'll repeat, Lazio, Milan, Sampdoria, Fiorentina, Torino, Parma, Juve, and Roma. The only big team we face at the end of the season is Inter. So it's going to be crazy. And there's also this thing I saw before. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but the Juventus match is before a Champions League match. It's pre-UCL. Then we have Roma post-UCL, which is bad for both teams because they're both in the Champions League. So both teams will have come off a Champions League game. And we also have Atalanta after a Champions League game, which isn't the craziest thing, but we'll see how that goes as well. So I'm talking too much, but like I said, the major thing to take here is that we face a lot of the best teams in the Serie A in the top 10 weeks. in the first 10 weeks, and then it kind of dies off for the last 9 weeks until we play Inter. And then coming back, that should be somewhat of an advantage because we'll have them again in the top in the first 10 weeks of the Ritorno, and then the Juve will have a kind of a tougher schedule at the bottom. But like I said, Juve is still the team to beat. You know, they're realistically going to get the results that they need to get, and it's just we do need to. We need to get the same results too. And let me just point out too, one more thing is if we're playing Lazio away from home, we're playing Juve away from home, we're playing who else are we playing away from home? Samp away from home, and we're playing Inter away from home in the Andata. That means on the Ritorno, on coming back, we're going to be playing Lazio at home, Samp at home, Juve at home, and Inter at home. So those are 4 or 5 opponents that are really big to play at home in the second half of the season when things might be more crucial depending on how the standings are looking. So that's all I have for today. Like I said, I just really wanted to go over the schedule. I want to see what you guys think. If you're still watching at this point, let me know. I know this video is kind of long, but there's a lot of things to talk about. So let's go talk. Let's interact. Let's see how it goes, what the season's going to be about. But always, Forza Napoli. We'll see how everything turns out. So if you, like I said, if you enjoyed the video or if you want to comment on the video, go ahead. If you want to like the video, go ahead. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do. I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to get this video out there for you guys. Thanks for everything, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.